Welcome to the database team weekly meeting. We'll jump right into it. So if you didn't, I'm going to verbalize it anyway. If you didn't know, Pat, maybe you don't know because you just got back. But Friday, August 14th is another Friends and Family Day. So plan accordingly and enjoy. Going back through our retro from last week, do we have an issue anywhere for executing migrations in CI with an unprivileged user? I don't think we do. I did a quick look, and I don't think one was created in the interim. But do either of you know if we do?
I don't remember seeing one.
Okay. And there is a discussion, yes, in that issue or in a similar issue, but yeah, I don't think that there is an issue specific for that.
Okay. Let's see, Jose just added this. Do you know what's going on here, Pat?
Yeah, this is something that Andreas kind of mentioned that I could help out with while he's out. I have to look at it a little bit more closely.
Okay.
Just for the automatic partition creation, I think we don't need it to be running.
Say that again.
It's for there's the way the automatic partition creation is, there's a couple different methods it does. There's a cron and it runs on the application startup. And I think Andreas was saying since the application startup is frequent enough, we don't need to have the cron running, I think, or something like that. So he just figured that that could be disabled in production.
Okay. All right. And I think for our goals last week, it was mostly for Giannis to keep his head above water, being the lone person here. There were a few items that got closed. Is there anything major you want to review, Giannis?
Oh no, I'm sorry. So many reviews. I try to keep up with all issues, database issues, both on Patrick's issues and others. So I try to comment everywhere. But yeah, no real progress on functional parts of our job.
Hey, Jose.
And yeah, the audit events migration is complete.
Yep.
Yay.
Yay. Jose, jumping back to your topic here, are there any specific questions that you had? We just talked about it briefly, but we can recap if you have any specific questions.
Yes, I'd just like to give a bit of a overview on that. It's about this change that I see there is plenty of Ruby code that you're changing to enable like table partitioning, I guess, in the Rails application. And like Andreas did a comment for infrastructure there, if we could like to review or participate with you guys. And okay, if you're applying something on the database, please let me know, or any parameter. If you want us to monitor this during the meantime, is great. But on the Ruby, unfortunately, I'm not a specialist on that.
Okay.
And yeah, the only two comments I did that is like, before we roll out this, let's keep an eye with SRE on call, because I believe that if we have something wrong here, we will have more errors on the Rails application initially, because we don't create those kinds of partitions all the time, right?
Right. Okay. Pat's still catching up. He was out last week, yeah. So he said he'll catch up on it later on today.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not completely up on that issue. I'll have to look at it.
No problem.
All right, and for this week, I figured we'd just run through what's in 13.3 since Giannis has help now and Pat just got back this week. I'm going to start from the bottom up. So the conflict-free version handling, how's it going, Pat?
Yeah, that was merged in. So really I was just kind of waiting to make sure that everything seems good with it. But at this point, I think we're, there's a few maybe follow-ups from it, but everything is looking pretty good. There haven't been any serious issues or anything. So I think that one probably we can close out. And probably the related announcement issue will keep open a little bit longer in case people want to comment, but it's pretty good.
Announcement issue. We'll come up to it. Let's see, this one's you as well.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, this is the announcement issue. So just keep this one open for a little while.
Yeah.
Jonas, moving all
Not
database.
important. Yeah, this one is not important.
Okay.
I will just make it at some point.
Got it. Pat.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one was merged too. I just need to verify that it went out.
Okay. That one is Andreas and Giannis.
Yeah,
Probably
that's
didn't have time for this last week, right?
Yeah, and that's the important one for me. Work with Prometheus and generate those, and see how we can add them to use at Spring or whatever.
Do you have any questions or need any help with that one?
Not at that moment. I just have to keep on checking.
Let's see, that one's not assigned. Pat.
Yeah, that one's in review right now.
Okay. And then rig task for reindexing.
Yeah, that will be my priority for this week to work on that one.
And last one that's assigned is add test to fail on audit event schema changes.
Yeah, that one was just kind of a sanity check to make sure that the feature team doesn't update the audit event schema, which would break the partitioning stuff that's happening. But I think also that it looked like, Giannis, maybe you commented that they added a test for that themselves, so maybe we don't need that anymore.
Yeah, we added specs, so I just pinged you there so that we should check if anything else is needed. I don't think that we need any additional things. I think that the specs that we added cover most of the cases.
Okay. Yeah, so I think probably that one is, we don't need to do anything on our end for it.
Yeah, just a 5-minute check and a call between me and Patrick to make sure that nothing is missing there, and we will close it most probably.
Sounds good.
Okay. So this one's ongoing, right?
Yeah.
Or
Now we are done and we have to check it. So we will have so we will have to do it. I think that this should be a joint effort between me and Patrick, or I can take it. I don't know, or because we have to think about how to test it a little bit. But the quick checks I've done show that everything must be okay, but we have to be thorough.
This one's likely going to slide out. This is new. Well, we've talked about it, but container registry has come in. I don't know if you all saw the Epic and issues for that one. So they're creating a new database schema for it, and we need to look at it with partitioning in mind before they actually deploy it. It's going to be easier to build it in than to build it and then migrate it into partitioning later on. So this one probably need to kick out to 13.4. Right, Josh, container registry is higher priority.
I can give some background there. So basically we currently don't delete any content in the container registry ever. So any image you've ever pushed or anyone of GitLab.com has ever pushed has never been deleted. So you can imagine the cost model of that isn't great. And the problem is that the Docker distribution service, which we utilize, doesn't support online garbage collection. So we basically had to, you have to take it down in order to actually run a cleanup operation. And at the scale of GitLab.com, it would be done for hours, days, like way too long. And so we've had to build a online garbage collection system. That means we basically need to keep track of what layers are part of what images, and how, because you can share layers across images. And so it's not an easy, simple delete operation. You kind of have to sort of, sort of like a reference call type thing. Anyways, long story short, we have to build our own database to basically track all of these things. Then we know what we can delete and what we can't. So that's the urgency here, because until we can free this content up, I think we're basically burning $500,000 a year at current run rate. It's getting worse every month and an accelerating pace. So that's the reason for urgency here. Right now it's planned to hopefully be delivered in January-ish, as far as being able to actually run a delete operation on this. But the longer this database operation takes, or the longer this database running takes, obviously the further pushed out that will be, and the later we can realize any savings, and the more expensive it will become as the container industry continues to grow. So that's the backstory on why this is coming in hot.
Cool. Thanks, Josh.
Yep.
All right. That's done. And then the last one we have is index helpers don't respect the where clause. Seems like something we can pick up later on if we need to.
Yeah,
it's pretty, it's a pretty small change. And we might be able to fit it in still, but I don't think it's like a super high priority. As soon as we can get to it, I guess is good. The better, the sooner the better. But if it slips, it's not a huge deal.
Okay. We've gotten through everything in a very efficient manner today. So are there any other topics anybody wants to cover for the day? No. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, give everybody some time back. Thanks, everybody.